What's up guys, I'm just a gamer and I'm back with another video, and it's been a while since I've made one of these where it's just me talking about certain feelings about certain news subjects and stuff like that, and there's no way I couldn't talk about it, which is the EA buyout. And when I first heard this, that EA was going to go private, my first reaction was like, oh, interesting, maybe this is a good thing, not being beholden to shareholders and like currently, always having to push that mindset up. Maybe they're able to like experiment a bit more, lean into more like, uh, games outside of their comfort zone, besides just sports and shooters, put a little bit more faith into games like, Jedi Survivor, Dragon Age, even though after what happened with Veil Guards, and obviously Mass Effect. Those were my initial thoughts when I heard this. But then I saw who was buying them. And I am not a political person, but even I've heard of the horror stories coming out of Saudi Arabia, they're just, human rights violations and all that stuff. Like, again, I'm not a political person, but even I've heard that stuff, and that has me a bit worried now because, now that they're privately owned, that company, or, Saudi Arabia, or I believe the actual place is Silver Lake, is it? I'm not sure. Forgive me if I'm off on that, but they could be just mandated to do certain things and they have no choice because they're a private company. And yeah, because again, Saudi Arabia, they're known for, not the best treatment of their people. I believe it wasn't too long ago where a journalist that he just wrote, some criticizing marks about the ruling powers, and they executed him. Threw him in jail and executed him just as a journalist, apparently. And yeah, so I'm not a political person. I don't want to get into it. I don't know the ins and outs. This is from stuff I've seen and heard. And I'm just like, wow. And, I've seen people online already making some jokes about how, Saudi Arabia is known, not treating their people right. And people are saying like they'll go hand in hand with EA. It's like, that's rough. And I've already seen some people commenting about how this is going to negatively affect, role-playing games going forward. I was even saying like Dragon Age and Mass Effect. People are already saying they're worried about those games, that they might be on the chopping block just because, those type of games may not fit, Saudi Arabia's agenda. They don't particularly like, the LGBTQ community. They're not fans of that. So yeah, it's just, I've seen a few people making those comments and things online, and I'm just like, that's a very big reality. That could actually be something that happens. My only hope is that, somehow, some way, somebody else offers to buy BioWare and Respawn or something, like get them out of there. Just get them out from under EA. Because, maybe I'm jumping the gun. Maybe nothing will change. Maybe, there's contracts where they're not allowed to dictate some things. Maybe that's in the contracts. But yeah, as it stands, this is, it's big. It's headlines for a reason. And yeah, I'm curious to see how this goes. Next, I want to talk about Capcom and how they've pretty much just shit the bed, honestly. I mean, Capcom has been on a bit of a hot streak. All their games have been doing like better than ever. Even Monster Hunter Wild, while has had a mixed response, it still did, extremely well. I mean, me personally, I actually really enjoyed the game. I really like it. I'm actually planning to go back and try out Omega sometime later this week. And yeah, I think even Street Fighter 6, I think this is the most popular it's ever. I think Street Fighter in general is most popular it's ever been, and it's also, I think, financially the best it's ever been at. And they pretty much just squandered all that by announcing that Capcom Cup and I believe one other event, their top 8 is going to be pay-per-view. And I don't understand it. I mean, with that one announcement, they've pretty much pissed off their entire fan base and watch base. The people who watch Capcom Cup, you've just pissed them off completely. I've seen some people pushing back, saying, well, hey, it's similar to like if you were going to go to their live, and that's not the same at all. Because I mean, obviously going there live is an experience on its own. Like, you're seeing people, you're able to meet the fighters, you're able to there's events and promotions and raffle. It's like a whole thing that people who watch online can't experience. But they're at least able to watch it. They're still able to at least watch and at least feel part of the experience, from a distance. So it is not the same. And it's just, I can't believe I honestly think they're gonna lose money on this, just because, I mean, they've pissed off again a lot of their fan base by making this pay-per-view, and the fan base that watches this, they're not gonna pay. They're gonna go to some YouTuber's channel or whatever like that, and they're just gonna, but obviously that's gonna make them copyright infringement or some shit like that, and that's gonna piss them off. Piss people off even more. And yeah, I don't see this going over well. I don't see it going over well. I mean, I think they've made one of the biggest mistakes they've ever made by doing this. That's just my opinion, though. That's just me. And yeah, I just had to get those thoughts out there and those feelings out there, because I just honestly don't know what Capcom was thinking. I mean, they've pissed off and just alienated most, if not all, of their fighting game fan base. The FGC in general is, from what I've seen online, pissed off. And the FGC is your market, is the people who watch, are the people who play Street Fighter. I mean, I don't see this going over well. I don't see this going over well, and I just do not know what they were thinking. This is crazy. But yeah, I just wanted to get my thoughts on those two big news announcements that happened, not just yesterday, if anything, or the Capcom one maybe a few days ago, but the EA one yesterday. And yeah, I mean, man, there has back-to-back sketchy, possibly not good news back to back has me worried about the state of the game industry. These two pieces of information have me worried about the state of the gaming industry at this moment, because yeah, EA going private with Saudi Arabia or Silver Lakes, apologies, I don't know, I'm not familiar with the company itself, and then Capcom announcing that their fighting game tournament is going to be pay-per-view is, wow. I don't know. And to the Capcom thing, they've already said that apparently it's going to be pay-per-view the day of, and then they're going to do a replay or whatever. It's going to be free on YouTube a week later. And yeah, again, you're going to alienate and piss off a lot of people. Yeah, I'm ugh. But yeah, again, I just wanted to give my thoughts out there and my feelings. Again, I'm not a political person when it comes to the EA Saudi Arabia thing. Again, this is just from stuff me as a non-political person have like heard and been told, and I've read as well. I do read the news every once in a while, and the whole thing with Capcom just, again, this is, I think, one of their biggest mistakes ever in a long time. Capcom for a long while could do no wrong. They've been on a hot streak, and this is their first big blunder in a long while, I think. If there's something else, let me know in the comments down below. But from my understanding, this is like their first biggest shitting of the bed that I've seen in a long time. But again, these are just my thoughts, my feelings. If you have conflicting ones or similar ones, let me know in the comments down below. I would love to hear from you guys. School me. Tell me. Do I have something wrong? Am I representing something? Like, let me know if I'm getting anything wrong or if I'm getting anything right. Let me know in the comments down below. I would appreciate any and all feedback. But yeah, if you enjoyed this video, please leave a like or comment down below. I'd appreciate any and all feedback. Subscribe. I alternate streaming between Twitch and YouTube because I've not figured out multi-streaming. So if you like, you can follow me on Twitch at twitch.tv/justagamer_inc, all together one word, or you can click the link below. And on YouTube, just hit that notification bell to know when I go live. And I'm currently nearing the end of my Hollow Knight playthrough of the first Hollow Knight on Twitch. So if you want to finish the game off with me, come and join. But again, let me know your guys' thoughts to these two big pieces of news in this week in the comments down below. I would love to hear your guys' thoughts on this. But regardless, thank you for watching, and until next time, take care and have a good game.